Hi, this is Lauren from LSP Actions and welcome to the video tutorial for the LSP Santa's truck at the tree farm digital background. The truck was originally shot by Anna Brandt. In this tutorial I'm going to walk you through what's included and how you can quickly add your subjects to the layers and play with the layers that are included. This is a multi-layer digital background designed for Photoshop. When you open it up into Photoshop you will notice lots of layers here in your layers panel. If you can't see your layers panel, come up here to window and make sure layers is checked. You have the background through the window layer here. This is just your background. You can leave that one on unless you want to edit this further. Above this you have the wheel. You can turn this one on or off. See the little box here? You can turn this on or off to show a wheel. Perhaps you want to just leave it like this and you might want the wheel showing. It gives you lots of options to customize this and really make it your own. Above this we have the big man in red, Santa. You can turn him on and you can hit V on the keyboard to move Santa around a little bit, but he will be in the best position. I recommend turning the wheel off because Santa is actually holding a wheel there. And then we have the Xmas truck digital background here. Leave this one on. This is also locked. You can turn it on or off, but leave that one on. Above this you have place your subjects inside the truck layer. I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. Above that you have the truck digital again overlaid with transparency. So when you place your subjects here, the wood and the truck in front of them will automatically be ready masked in for you, so it saves you a lot of time. If you want to add your subjects perhaps standing next to the truck, sitting on the truck, behind the truck, any way you want to add them that isn't inside the truck, you can add them here on this, this orange layer here. Place subject outside of the truck. And then above this you have snow that you can turn on or off if you want to add snow. So it gives you lots of options there when it comes to creating your very own scene. So let's get started with adding subjects. Now you can add any subjects in. I'd recommend the subjects sitting in your studio or outdoors when you shoot for these. What you may need to do is edit your subjects further to change the white balance, cool the white balance down a little bit if your images are too warm. So add some additional editing to your subjects before adding them in and after as well to really blend and make it work. However you do this, it's entirely up to you, but I'm just going to show you how to add and mask your subjects in, and the rest of the editing I'll show you how you can kind of add those editing effects. But what you do really does depend on your own skill set and your own expertise when it comes to editing and your eye for what looks good. So let's get started. You can either go up to File and choose Place Embedded to add your subjects in, or you can copy and paste. I'm going to simply drag and drop this image in here from Anna Brandt. This is shot outside in a similar kind of location, and the lighting is similar too, kind of a flat lighting there. Well, not flat, but you know what I mean. It's not midday shadows or anything like that, so it goes a lot better with this digital background. Resize your subjects in, don't worry about what's showing through the window or anywhere else. Resize these subjects to be sitting in the back of the truck. Use Santa as a guide for how big your subjects need to be, because obviously children would not be bigger than Father Christmas, so make sure you can kind of resize them in there. Double click or hit enter. Now it may appear in the place subject here layer, it may appear above it, and that's fine either way. As long as you've done it, you've clicked on the subject here first to add the layer of your subjects in, it doesn't really matter if they appear above or in the box. Come down to the little icon down here, the rectangle with the circle in, to add a layer mask to your subject. There is already one here. If it's landed in the right place, you don't need to do that. And you'll see a white layer mask appear. This is where you're going to start masking. So grab a brush, set to black, and you can start painting away anywhere you do not wish for this to show. If you're in an older version of Photoshop, you're going to need to zoom in using a black brush and start erasing the subjects. Any of these areas you need to take away. A little bit time consuming, but that's compositing for you. And if you accidentally go over the subjects, you can hit to a white brush and paint them back in. Doing it this way rather than erasing means your subject layer still remains there. You're just using a mask. It's a little bit like a scratch card. Black means hide and white means show. So you can go around simply erasing any areas that you don't want to have in your image, such as the background. If you're on the later version of Photoshop Creative Cloud, you can hit W on your keyboard and come up here and choose Select Subject. Sometimes it works really well, other times it works really badly. Come up to Select and choose Invert or Inverse. Grab your black brush and now you can just wipe this over, and because it's made a selection of your subjects already, it's protecting them. So that makes a really good starting point. Control or Command D to deselect. This hasn't quite got the hair right, so you can control click on that mask and come up here to select and choose Select and Mask, and that brings up the Select and Mask options. This brush here is Refine Edge, so you can use this to sweep over the hair selections and make a better selection of the hair. You can also use this to pick up any areas that Photoshop hasn't added in that it should have done, or you can use this holding down Alt to erase you know, the masking from any areas. Use the bracket keys on your keyboard to make these brushes larger or smaller, and I'm just coming in and refining that mask there. As with everything with Photoshop, it's a work in progress. You may find it works really well, you may find it doesn't work so well. And you can also deselect, Control or Command D. Use a white brush to add in any areas you need to show, and a black brush to hide any areas. For the more detailed masking, I recommend using a low flow, and your brush hardness depends on the image. So if you've got a very in focus shot, you're going to want a hard brush. If you've got a soft shot, then you're going to want to use a soft brush. So you can simply right click and change the hardness as you go. I like to edit with my hand on the keyboard. As you can probably hear, it's right next to the microphone. My hand on the keyboard, I'm left-handed. I have my thumb on B for brush and my index finger on X, because X changes from black to white. So this makes it all a lot easier for you to edit. And once you've edited your subjects in, once you've completed your masking, you can hit V to move them around like this. You can hit Control or Command T to resize your subjects, and you can just play with that. And you can play with the extra settings here, for example the snow, you can turn Santa on or off, the wheel, anything like that that you want to change. When it comes to additionally editing your subjects, if you've placed them in and you have their little icon here, you can double click this and it will open your subject image up again as a new image where you can add editing layers. If you want to edit straight on to the digital from here onwards, you can come down here, the little icon that looks like a little two-tone circle. You can use this to add, for example, let's go for vibrance. Right click though and choose Create Clipping Mask, and that will clip it to your subject layer, meaning any adjustments you make will only affect your subject. If any of this seems a little bit advanced for you, there's so many tutorials you can follow on YouTube and online that will really help you bump up your Photoshop editing. I'm going to add a curves to add a little bit of brightness and contrast in. And you can further mask these if needed. It's entirely up to you. You can change the white balance, you can open this up into Camera Raw, you can do whatever you need to do. And once you've added your subjects in, you can go ahead and save this image. You can also crop in closer. You can change Santa, for example, if the image you've added in, you've gone quite large on these, on the family here. So let's make them all a little bit larger. You can go on Santa, Control or Command T, and you can make him larger too if you want to, or you can make him smaller. Depending on how large your family is, you can edit Santa too. So that's really, really helpful, and that's why I kept Santa as a separate layer rather than a flat digital, because it means that you can really adapt this to suit your own image. So that's how to use the LSP Santa Tree Farm truck, the side-on truck shot by Anna Brandt. And again, if you wanted to add a subject using the exact same masking, in front, standing up in front of the truck perhaps, not in the back of the truck, you can use this layer, place them here, just make sure it's above this, this truck layer here. So click on that one and place, and do the same masking. And this is available at www.lsp-actions.com. I'm Lauren, thanks for watching.